Live from Showmy Arena, we're in Fort Worth, Texas tonight for this matchup between the TCU Horned Frogs and Prairie View A&M. The Panthers are in town for this one, the last final non-conference tune-up before conference play begins in full force. Coming up on Saturday for the Horned Frogs of Coach Jamie Dixon. His team sitting at 7-2 on the season. Prairie View sitting at 1-3, and we're ready to get this one underway. Kevin Samuel's going to toss this one into the air, or see it tossed into the air, and the tap is controlled here by Prairie View. And they'll work left to right, and you see already here. Now, you're going to see a mismatch as far as size is concerned, as we welcome Colin Boddicker into today's telecast. But this is one of those where Prairie View matches that size with some pretty good quickness, and you see it in the lane already on the miss by Cam Mack.
Yeah, that's the way they're going to have to compete tonight, is with quickness, because TCU size, Kevin Samuel, obviously TCU's all-time leader in block shots, is going to be patrolling the paint down there, blocking shots and getting a lot of rebounds for the Frogs tonight. Cam
Mack, who's got the basketball right now, is a transfer from Nebraska. Gambrill works it down low. And they feed it off. That's Henry. Henry with a jumper over Kevin Samuel. Miles with the board. Mike Miles, a reigning newcomer of the week in the Big 12. Second time this year that he's claimed that award. He had 26 the other night against North Dakota State.
Yeah, tremendous start to the season for him as a freshman for Coach Dixon this year.
Here's Kevin Easley stepping into a knuckleball three-pointer that goes, and the Frogs with the early lead.
Really good start for Kevin Easley. Get that shot to fall down. He hasn't been shooting as well from three-point line as he'd like this year so far.
Colin, we wanted to tease you with that open. I hope you caught it there. It was kind of a subtle little thing that we did. The Frogs are going to have the services of Fran Farabella tonight. He's back and will be available. We'll see him a little bit later on. Here's a miss on the jumper that time by Damari Paris. And back the other way comes Taryn Todd, who gets the start for R.J. Nimhart, who's not in the lineup here. And pulled a muscle in practice. Looks like he's going to be okay, but he's not available tonight, as the miss there for the Horned Frogs is going to give it back to Prairie View. So you take RJ out of the lineup, and you put Fran Farabella's availability in there. It's going to be interesting to see how Jamie Dixon works things. Here's penetration by Mack.
You know, it's really good to get Fran Farabella back, obviously. You missed his ball handling skills and just ability to take care of the ball, bringing down the floor as Kevin Easley lays one in here.
Yeah, full of nice feed there to Easley for the lay-in, and it's 5-0 Horned Frogs.
But you're taking off the board, 18.4 points a game from R.J. Nimhart. That's going to be tough shoes to fill.
Here's Henry strong to the rim around Kevin Samuel. And Linnell Henry, the senior out of Chicago.
I was actually looking forward to really talking a little bit more about R.J. in the game tonight, because he's had such a great start to the season. Improved so much over the last 3.5 years since he's been here at TCU.
Here's a steal, and on the other end, a miss by Gambrill, but a foul. The Horned Frogs will commit it there. And to the free throw line now is going to go Jeremiah Gambrill. He's a transfer from Western Kentucky. Several of those on this roster here for Prairie View A&M. And there you see it. P.J. Fuller flying through. Contact with the body will put Gambrill at the free throw line right now.
Yeah, and with R.J. Nimhart being a primary ball handler for the Frogs, you got to wonder how long it'll take Coach Dixon to go to Fran Farabella in this game, with Prairie View A&M opening up with a little bit of pressure here in the backcourt.
Gambrill yet to make a free throw this year. That's his first one. He's now 1 of 6. They're 1-3 on the year is Prairie View. And an early substitution. As into the lineup comes Darrell Roberts. He checks in for Damari Paris. Back to the line, Jeremiah Gambrill. This was a late addition to the schedule. Frogs were scheduled to play Texas Southern tonight.
Prairie View A&M happy with that spot opening up for them to be able to take on. They've had 3 games canceled themselves already this year.
Yeah, that was a second made free throw. Makes it a 1-point ball game. And you see the pressure already being applied here by Prairie View. We've seen it from multiple opponents this year. Frogs struggled with it early in the season and do here as well, as you get the steal and the turnover. Darrell Roberts on the other end for the easy lay-in, and Prairie View has their first lead at 6-5.
Well, you got Kevin Easley and Kevin Samuel both all the way down the floor in the corners down here. If a trap comes, they've got to come up and make themselves available instead of just standing in the corner waiting for the pass coming to them.
Easley's got it at the left wing. Bounces out front, not a Fuller. Here's Taryn Todd for 3. He's a follow his shot there. Rebound taken out of there by Daniels. Make that Mack on the rebound.
TCU will struggle against this pressure a little bit if they don't start bringing people up and making passing lanes available. Once you get double teamed and you have enough guys playing halfway up, those guys in the corners become basically unavailable when you're playing 4-on-3, or excuse me, 3-on-4 the other way.
Prairie View weaves it out front. Byron Smith's the head coach of the Panthers. He's really kind of restored that program at Prairie View. Down low, turnaround jumper here for Henry. One too many steps. Got to get it back here to TCU. 3 officials for this one for the Big 12. And we'll talk more about this as the day goes on, as Fran Farabella going to check in the lineup for the first time. Now you see Farabella's numbers too, by the way. Let's focus on that first, because with him in the lineup, this team turns it over 10.5 times a game. Without him, it was up to 17. Here's Fuller. Alley-oop stolen away. There's a turnover with him on the floor.
Yep, and Farabella just takes care of the ball so well. You saw he's only had 1 turnover in 133 minutes played this season.
Gabriel misses from the baseline, and Samuel with the rebound.
He just knows where, if he's going to be in trouble, he knows how to get rid of the ball and won't let himself get trapped as easily as some of his teammates. But he also just moves the ball and passes to open players and not having to wait for them to get open necessarily. He'll move the ball quicker before the defense can react.
Foul here is whistled on Cam Mack. Frogs will have possession of it out of bounds now, and Miles will trigger that inbounds.
This is Prairie View's first game in 9 days. Their last game was on the road at Washington State 9 days ago.
Another turnover, and back on the other end for the easy lay-in, Darrell Roberts. And Prairie View extends the lead now at 8-5.
See right there, Farabella didn't cross half court and pick up his dribble. Would have walked right into a trap.
Right. Now top with it now is Fuller. Here's Miles with a deep 3. Scores it there to tie it at 8.
He's just been so impressive for a freshman already this year. Shooting at a very high clip as well.
And there's Farabella with a steal. Fran in traffic, fouled from behind. That's Darrell Roberts who will commit it.
Probably actually a pretty good foul there for Roberts, because Farabella had 2 Frogs running the wings with him. It would have been a nice, easy layup for the Frogs, most likely.
All right, 15:46 to play here in this first half. Prairie View hanging with the Horned Frogs. Tied at 8 here in Fort Worth tonight. Pretty good start for Byron Smith and his Prairie View A&M Panthers here tonight. Tied at 8 apiece between TCU and the Panthers. They won the SWAC regular season and the tournament championship back in 18 and 19. Lost in the first 4, if you remember, to Fairleigh Dickinson that year. Had a great year going last year as well. He's done a terrific job. At Prairie View has Byron Smith, who is a great player at Houston, all Southwest Conference player, as a matter of fact. Farabella with it, now Miles. Out of that timeout.
Yeah, you really feel for schools, especially schools like this, that don't always get a lot of opportunities to play in the NCAA tournament and have those opportunities taken away with everything last year.
Miles with the layup, now the steal on the other end, and then a reach in here on the foul. And that's going to be on Edgar. Denario Edgar, who's in the lineup for the first time. Prairie View will go, they play everybody on the roster. So he'll go 12 deep. Well, Byron Smith.
Yeah, that's one way to be able to play pressure full court. I know they just drop back in here in a little 2-3 zone, a little new look for them. And they switch. That was just a fake look, and they're right back into man-to-man.
Here's Miles. Flips it down low here. Kevin Samuel, double team, missed it, and a rebound taken out of there.
He kind of took himself out of that play where Kevin took a dribble, went to the other side of the basket, and took a really tough angle to go up. If he'd have just powered up on the left side, especially since he's left-handed, he probably would have at the very least got to the foul line.
Miles commits the foul out front here on Cam Mack. Mack's out of Austin, transfer from Nebraska. He was a Big Ten honorable mention player at Nebraska last year, and they think that this guy is going to be a real difference maker for him in the SWAC this year.
Well, he had a nice start. He's only played 1 game for him this season. It was the very first or last game they played against Washington State, but he ended up with 14 points for him.
Farabella trying to hang on to it out front. TCU leads by 2. Washington.
Nobody guarding Kevin Samuel underneath. They just got it to him.
I know. Here's O'Bannon. Blows by Mack for the pull-up jumper. Missed it, and Samuel comes up with a rebound, but missed the dunk. Tried to keep it alive, but it's taken out of there now by Prairie View, and that's Gamer.
Well, he doesn't miss very many of those when he's right under the basket.
And out of the top is Mack with it. Frogs will be in the man-to-man much of this game, you better believe it. Out of top, it comes for a step-in three that doesn't go that time for Roberts, but the long rebounds come right back to him, and he missed the lay-in as well. And then commits a foul. That was a fairly poor sequence there for Darrell Roberts out of Dallas.
Exactly what I was about to say right there. He stepped into that shot. It looked like he had good form, good pass to him right in the top of the key. He missed it about a foot to the left, but he was the one who saw it, so that's why he was able to run and get that rebound. And then missed the layup right there, too. And made the other Cardinal sin is if you miss the easy one, make the 94-foot foul. You don't want to do that.
Jock Hughes checks in for him now for the first time. He's another transfer from Stephen F. Austin out of Houston. And at one of the guard spots right now for Prairie View. Jaden Ledee comes in for Kevin Samuel. They kick it in the corner to Farabella for the jumper. A little long on that one. The rebound fought forward, controlled here by Prairie View.
There's a little twist. Taryn Todd was coming to set that screen this time instead of having the big guy, Jaden Ledee, come up and set it.
Here's Mack missing on the other way. Now comes Taryn Todd. Pushes to Farabella. Farabella baseline. Sends it over to Miles. Miles from 10. Short. Ledee can't control it. Out of bounds here to Prairie View.
That was a heads-up move by Mike Miles. A lot of guys would have gone straight to the corner, especially since he's already made a three. He saw that the defender was going to be able to close out to him there, so he shortened that pass and got closer and got caught in the short corner. The floater just ended up a little bit short, but it's a really heads-up play to create an opportunity for himself instead of just going to the corner, and then he would have been guarded and wouldn't be able to get a shot off.
You can make the argument that that 8-footer, that floater from the side is tougher than a three-pointer from the side.
There's no question. That's one of the hardest shots, especially if your feet are set shooting a three-pointer. Guys shoot the ball so well these days, especially, but that's a very difficult shot because it's harder to gauge how far you are from the basket.
Follow doesn't go here. Hard on the rebound goes Jock Hughes. The follow doesn't go another time, and then Jaden Ledee comes up with the rebound, and we're going to get a foul here. And I think they're going to whistle this one on Jock Hughes, who was underneath Jaden Ledee, who claimed that rebound.
I'll tell you what, that's a really dangerous play, too. Yeah, Jaden Ledee jumping up and nowhere to come down. And just glad nobody was hurt on that play because you can really get messed up.
Came
have
down
an ankle
on top
blown out.
Yeah, that was Jock Hughes who he came down on, whistled for the personal foul.
Yeah, my brother's career was short and very similar play like that.
Third team foul here on Prairie View. Frogs, or excuse me, 15th foul, I should say. Frogs have been whistled twice. O'Bannon out front now, Farabella. Fuller skip pass comes off in the corner. O'Bannon penetrates, trying to dish down low to Ledee. And another steal here. Gambrell dribbled it off his foot. Farabella back the other way. Has numbers 401. O'Bannon elevates, but they say traveled first.
I would have liked to seen Francisco take one more dribble with that, try to make that defender commit to him. And if he doesn't, as you're going 2-on-1, you go until the defender steps to you. He gives it up just a little too early. Now the defender's able to slide over. I don't know about the travel.
I don't either. That looked pretty legit to me.
But you still like to see Francisco take at least one more dribble. He gave up that ball really early.
Got a moving screen here. And that was going to be whistled on Gambrell, I do believe, with that moving screen. No, they call it on Daniels.
Little scoring drought here for both teams. TCU will try to get a set play here, try to get somebody a good shot going. Coach Dick's now here yelling out the play call.
Farabella gives it up front now. Here's Fuller to the free throw line. Corner right, they get it easily back to PJ for the jumper. It's a three that goes.
And a nice shot by PJ Fuller, making that reversal pass and not cutting through, knowing that the double team was basically coming, so he's able to step back in to knock down that three.
Cam Mack with it. Crossover into the lane. Jumper here is too strong that time. And then a collision down low, and let's see who they whistle this one. It looks like it's going to be on Easley of TCU.
Yeah, Henry had position on the inside there, so Kevin had to grab a hold. It was going to be an easy tip in, it looked like, for Henry there.
Easley whistled for the first personal foul, brings us to a timeout on the floor. Just a 5-point lead for TCU. 13-8 they lead it right now. The Panthers back we come to Fort Worth.
Tuesday at 7 on ESPN.
Three officials for this one tonight are Kelly Self, Tyler Kemp, and there you see Amy Bonner, longtime official in Big 12 women's basketball. Now calling on the men's side. First time we've had her here in Fort Worth. Amy Bonner officiating tonight with this crew. Out of the timeout. Frogs with this advantage. Prairie View with the basketball. Gambrell will inbounds. Does so to Daniels. Juwan Daniels is out of Harlan, played at Odessa College. Out front it comes now to Cam Mack. Mack step back three-pointer here, scores it. He's a good player, big-time shooter when he's hot.
Yeah, it's remarkable the step back. Everybody can make that shot now. There wasn't very many that made them back in the day when I was playing. Now everybody can do it. Great move.
13-11, back to a two-point ball game. Here's Miles. Nice penetration to find easily for the reverse lay-in.
Yeah, nice cut by Easley down the baseline, too. Miles fed him a perfect little bounce pass for him to guide him right to the hoop.
Mack with it back out front again.
Nice start for Easley here tonight.
Yep, it is.
7 points for him.
And he's a guy who can score. I mean, he did it in high school, averaged 18 points at Lawrence North in Indianapolis. Of course, the Southern Conference Freshman of the Year at Chattanooga, where he averaged 14 points a game. Mack gives it up out front now.
Still looking for his first double-digit game for the Frogs, and looks like hopefully he's on his way to it tonight.
Got to travel here down low, as that was Juwan Daniels. Slid his feet before putting the ball down. Byron Smith not happy with that. Gerardo Briscoe gets into the lineup now for Prairie View as Daniels checks out. Miles penetration again, leaves it this time for Farabella. Fran sends it right wing now to Fuller. Trying to feed it down low. Another turnover here. Ledee out of position, and the rebound, or the lead out, I should say, comes to Cam Mack, who's got it here on Farabella.
Well, yeah, it's tough because Ledee was putting all his leverage into pushing the guy out, and he's got to be able to hold that position before P.J. Fuller can release it so he can go get it. He had his momentum leaning in the wrong direction.
Out of the top with it is Gambrell.
But as a guard, you got to know that, too.
Right. You got to anticipate that, right? Here is the reverse lay-in that goes for Henry, and it's a two-point ball game again at 15-13.
Look, the same play from TCU on the other end a second ago. Nice baseline cut and finish at the rim.
Here's Miles out front. Now Farabella left-hand side, they get it. Easily penetrates, skips it over to Miles, who lets it go quickly, but he's bumped and fouled by Cam Mack. Head coach Byron Smith helps Miles up. He didn't like the foul by Mack. That was a quick shot that time by Miles.
It was quick. It was almost like it was a little frustrated that he hadn't gotten any of his looks early in the offense because they've been running pick and rolls for him. They've just been jumping him, and he's had to give it up. So he's looking to get that off. He's trying to build on that 26-point game he had last time out.
To the free throw line now goes Mike Miles, 77% free throw shooter on the year.
He's certainly capable. He's second in the Big 12 this year at 52% from the floor. That's remarkable for a guard because usually those stats are reserved for the big guys that shoot it close to the hoop.
Second effort here for Miles. And he'll have one more. Samuel back in the lineup. He comes in for Jaden Ledee. This is the kind of game where you kind of thought Kevin Samuel may have his way against Prairie View. They've done a nice job. They've been doubling him early on.
So one way to take away a big guy, if your team's not as big, is to put a lot of pressure on the guards out front and make it hard for them to pass it inside. And that's kind of what Prairie View's done. So Kevin hasn't had a lot of opportunities inside thus far, but once he does catch it, Prairie View's done a really good job of collapsing on him and making him take a tough shot.
Three big free throws there for Mike Miles. 18-13 now. Frogs lead it by 5. Damari Paris into the lineup. He's another transfer to Prairie View. He comes from Eastern Michigan. Mack skips it. Gambrell for 3. Catch and shoot off the mark, and Miles with the board.
That was a terrific screen on the baseline there by Roberts to free up the shooter in the corner.
Fuller. Now Samuel.
The screen was so good, he actually had to make it look like he didn't mean to hit it so hard because if he would have flattened easily, the ref would almost had to call it.
Miles leaves it off now for Easley for another jumper. That one's short and flat, and the rebound now. Out of bounds. It goes out of bounds off of the Frogs. And it'll be Prairie View's basketball. TCU's turned it over 6 times in this half. Prairie View's turned it over 7. 9:15 left in this first. 5-point ball game right now. TCU with the advantage. Darrell Roberts. Again, there's your step back. Misses that 3, and the rebound taken out of there by P.J. Fuller.
You know, when I was playing, that would have been a bad shot, right? But these guys work on that shot so much now that they shoot it at such a good clip, and you're getting a release. Yeah, there's a hand in your face, but nobody's going to block it. So
nice speed from Fuller, and the no look to Kevin Samuel.
There's Kevin flushing one home. That's the way he needs to finish it right down there. But you're able to get a release. Yeah, the guy's got a little bit of hand in your face, but if the step back is, you get enough separation, you can get a free release without, getting blocked.
Cam Mack cups it, takes it to the rim, and is fouled. What a move that time by Cam Mack.
Yeah, Cam Mack showing why he was a Big Ten alternate last year.
He'll go to the free throw line now. Kelly Self whistles that foul there on Kevin Samuel. It'll be his first. Here's another look at it. You know, and if he doesn't make that, nice job by Linnell Henry, who was following it as well, ready to put it right back.
Yeah, Henry's done a nice job down there.
Free throw line now. Cam Mack, 88% free throw shooter. A 36 to play in this first half. It's a 4-point ball game again now.
So Prairie View back with the pressure again.
Jock Hughes back in the lineup.
See, Henry's back here. You can guard both guys.
Right.
All the way under the basket. So he's basically playing 3-on-4.
Easily started working his way up a little bit to half court. You'd like to see that sooner, though, is what you're saying, right?
I mean, if they can throw that to him right away, then it's 2-on-1. Easily, who can dribble the ball.
Right.
And Kevin Samuel on the other side who's going to finish it. Like, they need to just get that ball off the floor as fast as they can.
Farabella.
The pass will always beat a dribbler down the floor.
Pushing a foul here, and this was going to be on Jock Hughes, who's picked up a second foul now.
Frogs in the bonus.
Fran Farabella to the free throw line. You can see there the push with the forearm. Good to have Fran back. Just his 5th trip to the free throw line this year. He's only made 1. 8:09 to play in this first half. Lead stays at 4 at 20-16. Here's Mack, left-hand side over Kevin Samuel. Misses. The tip follow goes, though, on the putback for Briscoe.
Nice job staying after it for Briscoe on the backside. Kevin Samuel is out of the play because he tried to block the shot. That's the downside of a big guy stepping over to try to block a shot. If he doesn't get it, his backside rebound is 2-on-1.
Down to a 2-point ball game now. Baseline move here. P.J. Fuller up off the glass. Missed it, and the rebound taken out of there by Jock Hughes. An opportunity now for Prairie View to continue to close out this lead, and it's short on the attempt from Cam Mack. That was the guy they wanted shooting it. I think they thought the result would be a little different, though. 7:30 to play in this first half. Prairie View hanging with the Horned Frogs. 20-18 right now. As Jamie Dixon calls his troops over. Only up by 2 on the Panthers in Fort Worth. .730 left here in this first half. 20-18 right now. TCU leading it on Prairie View. Jamie Dixon's team letting the Panthers hang around here.
Yeah, a big reason for that is the rebounds. TCU getting out rebound 14-12 right now. Only getting 1 shot on when they miss.
602nd game as a head coach for Jamie Dixon. First time he's ever coached against Prairie View. Here's Miles with it. Skips it right-hand side now to Taryn Todd. Todd goes baseline. Sends it back to Mike Miles for the jumper, and he got it to go.
Nice job. Mike Miles making himself available in the corner, and Taryn Todd left his feet down the baseline. Stepped right in that shot. He's still hot.
Hughes out front. It comes now. Briscoe. Back to Paris. Damari Paris from the elbow for the jumper. Nice looking shot there for the Maryland native. It's out of Prince George County. Right-hand corner, Todd. Second attempt from that same spot and missed it again. And the rebound now, Samuel trying to keep it alive, but it's ripped out of there by Henry. Henry's been pretty active today.
He has been, and you got to like that the official didn't necessarily jump to a conclusion that Kevin Samuel was going over the back there. He was just going straight up.
Gambrell with it. Cam Mack is out right now at point guard, so Gambrell kind of operating things, he and Jock Hughes. Hughes gives it up to Gambrell. Back to Hughes in the corner for the high arcing three, and he knocked it in. Ties this game at 23 now, with 6:05 to play in this first half.
A little set shot. That's only the second made three-pointer for Prairie View A&M today.
Jock Hughes doesn't shoot him much from behind the arc, but when he does, they go in. Shoots 75% from behind the arc.
You can see the Frogs are missing R.J. Nemhard's ability to penetrate here.
Samuel had it blocked by guess who? Henry. Out of bounds it goes off of Henry. It'll stay with TCU with 11 on the shot clock. Jamie Dixon's going to bring in P.J. Fuller, O'Bannon, and Ledee. Here's another look at it. There's that double team we've talked about, though, Colin. They collapse on Kevin Samuel, just making his life difficult.
Yep. Well, and Kevin, you don't. It's difficult. That was a very difficult catch, but to gather himself, he had to bring the ball down.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of got him in trouble there.
Here's Ledee, misses the easy one, able to follow it, though, for the Dukes. And usually we brag on Kevin Samuel and the fact that he keeps it high.
Yes, absolutely. But he just caught it in such an awkward position that he had to bring it down just to gather himself. It was a really difficult angle to make that entry pass over the top.
Paris working between the circles. Bounces it back here to Henry, tried to force that one up. Miles grabs the board. Todd with the crossover, but before that, we got a move out front and a foul. It looks like, let's see, may have been a reach here.
I think Hughes was holding on to Ledee, I think. No, maybe not.
And they call that one on Briscoe, his first. Yeah, there you see just the grab. And they whistled that on Briscoe, but that should have been on Henry, should it not?
Yeah, well, I thought it was on Hughes, number 2, with Ledee. Ledee's going to the line. I think the officials may have called the wrong number there, because everybody in the game thought that Jaden was going to the free throw line here.
Free throw good for Ledee. .508 left here.
And my eyesight's not failing me just yet.
Second effort's off the mark. Cam Mack. Look down low. Henry put it on the floor on Ledee for the turnaround. And we got a foul down low. I think this was going to be Briscoe over the back. And it is.
They crash the boards. TCU's got to make sure they get a body on somebody every time here. They've got 5 offensive rebounds already in the game.
And we talked about that earlier on the make the Cam Mack had. There's Henry trailing the play. When that ball goes up, you got 2 or 3 guys heading to the rim for Prairie View.
Yeah, and I think they're trying to exploit the fact that they're quick at every position, so they can send a couple guys to the basket, offensive rebound, and still have a couple guys who can get back on D if the ball shot out and TCU's on a break.
I'll be honest with you, Colin. I think that's a lost art, too. The offensive rebounding in college basketball. As soon as a shot's up, it seems like everybody sprints down to the other end.
Well, there's no question. And the pace of play goes down because of it. You get walking the ball up and running set plays. It's not as free-flowing.
No.
I agree.
O'Bannon makes a second. 4-point lead again at 27-23. DeJuan Daniels back in the lineup now for Prairie View. Comes in for Briscoe. Roberts out front. Cam Mack, who's back out on the floor. It's his second outing as a Panther, the transfer. Penetration this time. Strong move to the rim. Drew contact here to Odell Roberts. And they're going to get a foul on the Horned Frogs.
So
get PJ with it.
So when Jaden Ledee went out to trap at the top here,
right?
You can't see it here, but Chuck O'Bannon, he hesitated to go take the guy at the top. And the pass was able to get out of the double team of the guy at the top. And now he's kind of caught in between guarding the guy at the top and the guy he was on the wing. So they swing it to the wing, and now he's got a free ride to the basket, and you have to foul him.
Right. What do you do?
If they're gonna go double team, you have to commit to go taking the next guy, and then you have to trust your teammate's going to take your guy for you and rotate.
That's a key word there, trust.
Absolutely.
Second effort here for Briscoe. Missed that one. Three-point ball game, 27-24. 4:20 to play. Now O'Bannon. Miles pulls the trigger. Jumper off the mark. Rebound fought for. Now here comes Cam Mack out of there with it. Ooh, crossover left Farabella, but he forgot the basketball and then commits the foul. He had made a terrific move to lose Fran Farabella, but then he lost the handle of the basketball, then commits the foul after he lost the ball.
Yeah, he was so low to the ground on this crossover. You see that, and then just off the left fingertips there, and Chuck O'Bannon's there to pick it up.
He just grabbed the arm of O'Bannon. Will go to the free throw line now. Frogs in the double bonus, so O'Bannon with a pair.
Frogs now just 5 of 9 from the free throw line as a team. It's one area that Coach Dixon really wants his team to get better at throughout the year. They're sitting around 68% for the season.
Cam Mack has to sit with his third personal foul, and that's a key one for Prairie View. Still 4 minutes to play in this first half, and their best player on the bench with those 3 fouls, Mack.
Yeah, especially you got 4 minutes to go till halftime. You're hanging around in this game, and tough to lose your best offensive weapon there.
Second free throw was good by O'Bannon. Takes the lead back to 4. Here's a three-point attempt to go. Stepping into it was Darrell Roberts again.
It was really good offense there. Swinging the ball all the way around to Darrell Roberts, stepping right into that shot.
He's got 8 points to lead them in scoring. Here's Miles with it.
He almost shot it too good, though. He held it. He's trying to be too perfect because he was so open.
Farabella screen from Ledee.
Nicely done.
10 on the shot clock. TCU by 1, 28-27. Miles going to keep and fire the 3. Ledee with the offensive rebound, but a foul here.
Jaden Ledee is just a load down inside. He's working so hard on every possession, not just to get post position, but then when the shot goes up, if you have to box him out, you're tired at the end of the day. I promise you, he is putting in work.
Foul was on Paris. Ledee will be at the line when we get back. It's a 1-point ball game right now. 28-27 Frogs. Welcome back into Showmeyer Arena here in Fort Worth, where the Horned Frogs lead it by 1 right now on Prairie View. And as well as the Frogs have been shooting the basketball of late, you look at it here in this one, 39% from the floor in this first half right now is TCU. Prairie View not much better at 36%. The thing that stands out to me, though, Colin, when you look at these early numbers, is Jamie Dixon's team only a 1 rebound advantage over Prairie View.
Yeah, one rebound advantage is really helping Prairie View stay in the game. They're getting offensive rebounds. They've already got 5 offensive rebounds, and TC's only got 4. But really on the shooting, I think they're really missing R.J. Nemhard tonight. He's shooting 48% from the floor himself. Does a really good job penetrating, creating opportunities for his teammates. He averages almost 5 assists a game, and the Frogs are just really missing his presence.
Ledee makes 1 of 2. Mike Miles over to slow start, 3 of 7 from the floor. That doesn't help your percentage either.
No, but he's shooting 52% from the floor for season. Next make, he'll be right at 50%. He's almost right there.
Gambrill, now Roberts to the elbow. He'll fire the jumper there for Prairie View. Missed it. Rebound, Jaden Ledee with a nice job defensively.
Yeah, nice job jumping up over Henry, who's coming in, crashing the boards again.
2-point lead, 2:45 to play in the half. Miles with it. Penetrates to the elbow. Again, the Frogs without the services of R.J. Nemhard, but Fran Farabella back out on the floor after the missing the last 4 ball games. This ball knocked out of bounds here from Miles. Amari Paris got a hand on that one.
Yeah, Paris had a nice game here defending Miles. Really frustrating him. Miles hadn't gotten to the rim yet. He's usually good for a couple of layups just on penetration.
Byron Smith continues with his substitutions. He's played 10 already in this half.
He'd be happy getting in the locker room with Mack on the bench with 3 fouls and getting to the locker room with a 2-point down, just 2 points.
Here's Farabella, feeds it off now to Taryn Todd, who goes baseline. Tried to wrap it around. It was slapped right back at him. He controls it again, though. There's Farabella left alone for the 3. That one misses. And Samuel comes up with a rebound. Byron Smith thought he was over the back. Here's Miles for 3. That one doesn't go, and there's your board for Prairie View from Linnell Henry.
Yeah, Kevin Samuel's just so big. Going up against Henry, who's 6'8".
29-27. Here's a 3. And that's a quick shot on the offense that goes here for Gambrell. And all of a sudden, Prairie View retakes the lead again now at 30-29.
Yeah, this is a point where you want to make sure you execute your offense for TCU. Don't want to give Prairie View any hope going into the locker room here at halftime.
Here's Taryn Todd for 3, misses. Again, no one touched it on that set but Todd.
Yeah, probably not the shot Coach Dixon was looking for.
Prairie View led 8-5 and now retake it here at 30-29 with 1:35 to play in the half. Gambrell going baseline. Back out front, it'll come down. Here's Damari Paris, 13 on the shot clock. Jock Hughes, Paris. Gambrell with Todd on it. Shot clock at 7. Gambrell another 3. That one's short. Farabella with the board.
Frogs looking to run here.
Easily. Hit nothing. Samuel claims it. Now Miles. In traffic, blocked and taken away by Briscoe.
Yeah, it was a really nice job. Briscoe holding his ground, going vertical.
Minute to play in this half. Prairie View's got a win already this year over Evansville. They beat the Purple Aces. Lost a tough one to Arkansas Little Rock. And then were undermanned against Louisville and Washington State.
Hanging tough tonight against the Frogs.
Yep. 6 on the shot clock. Gambrell gives it up. Down low, they feed it off here. Briscoe turnaround over Samuel. And Kevin Samuel's going to be whistled for his second personal foul here with 38 seconds to play in the half, and you had 1 second left on the shot clock.
I think Kevin might have been shocked that he actually turned into his left hand, which is his dominant shot blocking hand. Got him on the arm. Yeah, Briscoe had Samuel kind of pinned there. He could have just drop stepped and gone up and used a little baby left hand off the glass. Decided to spin back over his left shoulder. Still was able to get to the foul line here.
Briscoe misses on the free throw.
That's good offense by Prairie View A&M too, taking that shot clock down to about 38. That's a good number to get it to. Now TCU will take a shot, and if you get a defensive rebound, they'll be able to come back down. Basically a 2-for-1 for Prairie View.
Samuel checks out with those 2 fouls. Ledee back into the lineup. Missed that second. Lead remains 1, 30-29.
So now for TCU, you want to take this shot clock all the way down. Clock doesn't stop, so it'll be about 7 seconds. And they'll still have to get it out of bounds, inbounds, and down the floor to get a shot off if you wait.
Miles.
Nice move.
Blocked into the hands here of Hughes. Down to 13 seconds. See how quickly Prairie View shoots it.
Tremendous shot block by Briscoe there. After a great move by Miles to make himself available and open.
They turn it over. Gambrell tried to give it up. Here's a lead out
time
to Ledee. I don't think he got it off in time.
He didn't. I don't think he realized he had enough time.
Wow.
That was one where he would have had to catch it and probably pull up from about 15 feet to get it off in time. He was just not going to have enough time to get all the way to the rim.
Prairie View, A&M, the Panthers coming to Fort Worth. Surprising TCU at the half. They lead it by 1 at Schollmeyer Arena, 30-29.
So any team, any league, any player, you control the whole scene. No one else goes deeper, that's a fact. One slide, one tap, it's the ESPN app.
1-point ball game here at halftime. Prairie View leading it on the TCU Horned Frogs, and a bit of a surprise, folks. 30-29, especially with the way the Frogs have been playing of late. You got the win against Oklahoma State. You got a win against Texas A&M in there. I mean, the win against North Dakota State in the last outing. Now you're without the services of R.J. Nembhard, but Colin, this has got to surprise you at halftime.
I think that's the biggest thing that the Frogs are missing is R.J. Nembhard. He initiates the offense most of the time. He's one of the top shooters in the league. He's averaging over 18 points a game, 5 assists. You take that away from the offense, and things bog down. Mike Miles Jr.'s got 11 points here in the first half. He easily had 7, but he had those very early in the first half. Frogs need somebody else to step up and score.
Yeah, and that's what the problem is right now is scoring the basketball. Only 29 points in that half against a Prairie View team that has given up some big numbers. Here's a look at the numbers so far in this first half. The rebounding number still stands out to me. The fact that Prairie View is out-rebounding TCU by 1 is shocking at this point, Colin.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of those, 5 of those on the offensive side, creating extra possessions. But TCU only shooting 31%. I mean, Prairie View's getting after him defensively and mostly holding them only to 1 shot.
Yeah, Prairie View comes in just 1-3 on the season with a -8 rebounding deficit. That's what they've had in their first 4 games. But right now, out-rebounding TCU by 1. There you see the turnovers. The Frogs have forced 9 as Prairie View has forced 6 on the Horned Frogs. Some scores from around the league as we speak. Now, a couple of these were from last night. Today, you had Baylor and Alcorn State and Baylor, the Baylor Bears, number 2 in the country, took care of them with ease, 105-76. I was going to update you on one other game going on that might be of interest to many of you, and that is going on in the Cotton Bowl, where Oklahoma is leading Florida 17-3 right now, as that ball game works in the second quarter. So 10.5 to go in that one. Oklahoma looking good in football. Good for the Big 12.
Good for the Big 12. Always good when the rest of the conference is always representing well.
That's right. Now, we also need to welcome in the newest member to the TCU basketball family. If you would, check this out. This is the latest addition to the Boddicker family. The first edition is the way we should put this, right?
First edition.
Yeah, there's Luca Boddicker.
My son, Luca Thomas Boddicker, born December 11th. There's my lovely wife, Christina.
Yes, she is. Fortunately, he's going to take after her. We're all excited about that.
Absolutely.
You texted me and you said, I'm going to name him after my favorite basketball player. And I thought for sure that you were going to name him after yourself. But you went with Luca instead.
No, Junior. Actually, Christina came up with Luca.
Yeah.
She spells it with a C. She's Italian.
Right.
So no K like Luka Doncic, obviously.
That's right.
But I didn't put up much of a fight on that name. I kind of like it.
It's got a great ring to it, though.
It's got a great ring to it.
Luca Boddicker, I can see it from the corner.
And with Luca Thomas, we can always throw in LT if we need to.
I love that, too. I love that. All right, Jamie Dixon's team ready for the start of the second half. But you better believe he was chewing on him.
Oh, no doubt.
After this.
Absolutely. You don't want to fall to Prairie View A&M right before conference season. The meat of it starts up.
Here's Easy with it. He'll take it across the lane and feed it over to Miles. Miles easily. P.J. Fuller, Kevin Samuel, and Taryn Todd, the 5 of the floor to start this second half for TCU.
And early on, Prairie View A&M got a little pep in their step defensively. You want to get a couple of stops early.
Todd off the glass, scores it.
He'll be one of the guys you want to see try to put some points on the board here in the second half. Taryn Todd, nice drive and shot in the middle there.
He was 0 of 3 in that first half was Taryn Todd. Frogs back out in front now, 31-30. 40 seconds into this second half. Gambrell out now to Cam Mack. Mack had 6 in that first half. There's Henry's jumper off the mark. And a lead-out pass here that's intercepted. Another turnover here for TCU as Gambrell comes up with it.
Yeah, a good pass right there. It leaves Kevin Samuel for an easy dunk.
Yeah, Henry feeds it down low for the lay-in that time for Jawan Daniels.
Yeah, Taryn would like to have that pass back.
Yeah, Daniels' first bucket of the game. 32-31, a one-point margin. You see already Jamie Dixon has gone to his bench, and he's going to bring in Fran Farabella, the next dead ball. Todd penetrates. Fuller in the lane. Leaves it off for Samuel, who can't quite finish.
I like PJ just to shoot that three-pointer. He's a capable three-point shooter. He caught it with nobody near him, stepping right into the shot. That may be a directive from Coach Dixon saying, let's try to get something easy at the rim first before we start jacking threes. But during the flow of the game, if you're wide open, I think you just got to still take it.
Here's Mack penetrating. Deep three from Gambrell's off the mark, and there's Miles with the board.
So nice penetration by Mack to create that opportunity.
2 minutes into the second. Miles in traffic, slopped away and knocked away off of the hand that time of Gambrell. He's going to stay with TCU as Farabella comes to the lineup for Taryn Todd, who's had a tough night. Taryn got the start in place of R.J. Nembhard. Frogs without the services of R.J. for this one. Samuel sends it out to Farabella. Here's Easley on the move. Flips it up, score it, and is fouled. Now, that's where I like Kevin Easley. He loves to stay out on the perimeter, try to take that three-point. It has not been successful for him this year. When he puts it on the floor and penetrates, though, I think that's where he can make use of that 6'7", 225-pound frame.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see it right there. He just got to get a little bit of a body into the defender and kind of knock him off balance, picks up the foul, and is able to elevate and put the ball up on the rim. Sometimes they roll down like they did there, three-point opportunity.
Easily knocks that one in.
And you can see he's been frustrated. Started off really good at the beginning of the game. He even shaking his head there saying, I just need to get to the rim more.
But, that shot there, we've seen him struggle with this. That free throw attempt at least had some rotation on it. Mm-hmm. Had a little arc to it there. Off too often on the perimeter, we see him come off in his hand flat and no spin.
Well, think of the progression of R.J. Nembhard's shot.
Oh, yeah.
Since he's got here as a freshman.
Yep.
He's shooting over 40% from three now.
Yep. Here's Miles on the other end after the miss. Here's Samuel to follow. Nice job.
Nice job, Samuel. Making sure he didn't foul. Let the defender fly by and then going back up and jamming it home.
And a timeout going to be taken here by Byron Smith. Frogs sprint out to a 4-point advantage here to start this second half. 17-10 to play in this one. TCU trailed by 1 at halftime. Up by 4 now. 36-32 over Prairie View A&M tonight. TCU outscoring Prairie View 7-2 to start this second half, up by 4 right now, 36-32. There you see R.J. Nembhard walking out of that huddle in street clothes, unavailable for this game here today, and that was a late decision that happened this afternoon. And without him, look what you're giving up here.
Yeah, you can really see the progression, especially in that three-point field goal percentage going from 29 to 31 to over 40 this year. And the points per game, obviously, too. A lot of that comes from opportunity. You got some guys like Desmond Bain, who left the program after 4 years last year. So a few more shots open up so he can get more opportunities to score. But his progression over the 4 years he's been here has been tremendous.
Darrell Roberts with a turnaround for the free throw line. Knocks it in. 36-34. Byron Smith got what he wanted out of a timeout. Easley now Farabella. Screen comes from Kevin Samuel. Easley. Now Miles goes baseline. Back out they go Farabella. Here's PJ. Left alone, missed that one.
Yeah, it's a good offensive possession, though. You'll take that all day long.
One and done for TCU. Forecourt with it. Roberts pulls the trigger again and scores in the baseline right. Ties it at 36.
Prairie View A&M hanging around here. Took a shot from TCU to start the second half here and came right back and tied it up.
We give credit to Byron Smith. Again, this was a late addition to the schedule. Here's Miles penetrating, had it blocked away, slapped away, and run down and then slapped out of bounds here. It's going to be off of Gambrell. It'll come back to TCU. But credit to Byron Smith, the late addition to the schedule here. Texas Southern could not play this game. And he's done a nice job scouting and preparing his team for this game.
Absolutely. They've shown some full court pressure, a couple different things, and really trying to take away Mike Miles Jr. On the high pick and roll. He hasn't really had many opportunities to get into the paint, but then also holding TCU to one shot on most possessions here. TCU not really getting much on the offensive glass for second opportunities. And Prairie View A&M they're playing hard.
Yep.
Coach took out Cam Mack a few possessions ago after he took an ill-advised three and then went for a steal that he didn't get, and TCU got a layup on the other end. So he's putting his best scorer on the bench if he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, he still hadn't returned to the floor, easily stumbling. Travels and gives it back now to Prairie View. And that's going to bring us to a timeout on the floor again. 15:59 to play in this one. Tied at 36 between TCU and Prairie View A&M here at Schollmeyer Arena in Fort Worth tonight. Final tune-up here in non-conference play before conference play begins in earnest on Saturday in the Big 12 for TCU. Also in the SWAC, too, for Prairie View. They open it up on January 2nd against Southern. Here's the upcoming schedule for TCU. Kansas State on the road on Saturday. How about this start, though? Start with Kansas State. Then you got Kansas, Baylor, at Oklahoma, at West Virginia. Welcome to the Big 12, Jamie Dixon.
Well, yeah, that's good, though. You get guys that want to come here and play against the best every week. Yeah. And you got plenty of teams in the Big 12 to fit that bill.
Yep. No tune-ups, though, really. You're diving right into it. That's right. This one, though, tied at 36 between Prairie View and TCU.
There was a time a long time ago where everybody kind of said TCU was the tune-up game.
Sure, yes. Yeah,
that's no longer the case.
No, not at all. And there's a nice look inside as they miss it, though, does Cameron. The tip follow is off the mark for Briscoe. Back the other way, Fuller. Miles in the corner for three. Mike missed it. Samuel up high for the rebound and it's fouled.
That was nice offense on the break there. Mm-hmm. Mike running to the corner. Defender had to take P.J. Fuller, so he was able to kick it out to him. If he doesn't take him, he shades towards Mike. P.J.'s got a layup. And then Kevin kept the ball high on the offensive rebound, which is good.
That's a perfect example of what we were talking about earlier with Kevin Samuel. Catches it he catches it at its high point and keeps it up there.
Absolutely, and especially when the tallest guy on the floor for Prairie View A&M is 6'8". Mm-hmm. You know, it's such an advantage. And with Kevin's long arms, got to keep it high.
Misses a free throw there. First trip to the line for Kevin Samuel. Hughes and Paris check out as Cam Mack comes back to the lineup now, along with Darrell Roberts. Samuel missed them both.
That was actually only his 14th and 15th free throw attempt of the year, which is actually shocking as well.
I know that number needs to be a lot higher, doesn't it?
Even though he's shooting 61%, yeah, you'd like to see a lot higher.
That's Darrell Roberts with some instant offense coming in.
Yeah, Roberts up to 14 points now.
Only player in double digits for Prairie View. 38-36, they lead it by 2. Beasley, now Fuller. Fuller loves that move on the baseline. Lost the handle on that one. He got bailed out, though, as that ball went out of the hands of Henry.
I like that extra pass from Kevin Easley. Not settling for that three-pointer. Get it to a better three-point shooter on the wing.
Miles to trigger the inbounds now.
Ooh, that could have been a double dribble on Kevin right there. Kevin Easley.
Here's Fuller.
Nice
Step through this time. Yes.
He did a nice job of cupping the ball to beat the double team. He still had 2 steps to get through, and then just a little flip over to Kevin Samuel for the easy basket underneath.
And folks ask, why do you do that? Why do you cup it? Well, it's to protect it.
You got to protect it. The guys are swatting at it so hard, and guys' hands are so fast these days. You almost don't want to get fouled there. You'd rather not get fouled and rather get the easy basket instead of either going to the foul line or just getting fouled.
There's another offensive rebound for Prairie View. Jamie Dixon was upset because he had 3 guys who stayed down on the other end of the floor. And a foul here fronting Samuel was Briscoe, and he's going to be whistled for the person.
Yeah, that's a really good example right there. If Farabella comes up with that ball clean and he's running down, he's still going to be chased down. The guy can come up and block it from behind or just alter the shot. You need to follow your teammate down the floor.
Here's Farabella. Three-pointer. And we've got a foul here, though. Let's see. Because Darrell Roberts was trying to fight around the screen, and I think they're going to count the bucket and call the foul on Roberts as well. Let's see.
I don't know that the ball had left Fran Farabella's hand yet. They're going to look at a replay here. Yeah. I don't know that it left his hand before the contact on Roberts trying to break through that screen.
And I think that's what Kelly Self's going to go take a look at.
See if we can time this up. So, right. Yeah, he was already on the ground before.
Yeah. I don't think the 3 is going to count. The foul may. Darrell Roberts trying to fight around that screen.
Yeah. He tried to split the screen and go through it, but you're not allowed to just bull and China shop go through between 2 guys. Especially if they're set.
Right. Short yardage situation, right?
That's right.
and that goes back kind of the cupping of the basketball that we were talking about with P.J. Fuller. I mean, that's almost a short yardage situation in football. Guys swatting at it, trying to create the fumble there.
Sure.
That's why you want to cup it like that. Here's another look at it. You tell me, Colin.
I couldn't tell if Chuck O'Bannon was set yet.
Because his left hip is moving.
He looked like he may have been moving into it just a little bit there.
wonder if we can look at that again.
If we get the replay started just a second earlier, we'll be able to see if he's still moving into it.
There he is. So you see O'Bannon slides out.
I don't know that that's a foul on TCU there on O'Bannon.
I don't think it's going to be on TCU.
Here's a good look at it.
I think it's going to be on Darrell Roberts.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on Roberts as well.
The question is going to be whether or not they're going to count the 3 here, and Kelly Self continues to take a look at it.
The only thing I can think of is that they are able to go in here, and I can't remember now if they're able to do this. Are they able to reverse the call?
Not only
on the foul, because they did this a couple years ago in the Kansas game, where Brodzianski went up and got blocked, and they called a foul on Kansas post, and then they came back and called it a jump ball, even though that wasn't what they were looking for, a flagrant. They changed the call.
Kelly Self's explaining it to the scorer's table now. So they're going to eliminate the basket and say that the foul occurred before the three-point shot. And so this foul, I think, is going to be on Darrell Roberts, like we had talked earlier. You see Amy Bonner. Yep, it's on Darrell Roberts. But the three-pointer does not count because the foul occurred prior to the 3 by Fran Farabella.
And Coach Byron Smith still over there showing them that the screen was not set. Still fighting for his players.
Tied at 38.
As a player, you always like to see your coach fighting for you.
Miles inbounds. Samuel. Kevin backing it in. There's a help and another steal here. Gambrell comes up with it.
Yeah, Kevin's got to be able to see that coming too.
Gambrell keeps and left it short. And there's O'Bannon. Nice job running the floor.
That's a good job coming up and going and snatching that rebound.
Fuller. Again, that underhanded dish. And that is hard for a big man to handle.
There's no question. I mean, you can't even see it. He threw it under the armpit of the defender. Yeah. You almost can't even see it.
Samuel at 6'11". Get that thing up in the air for him, right?
Absolutely.
Here it is, another look at it. Look at that.
Yeah, you can't even see the ball coming.
And that's below his waist.
Yeah, that's tough. But PJ earlier in the game had an alley-oop play on the break that was stolen, so maybe he's a little hesitant to throw the lob and up there that close.
Paris with it out front. Loose ball, nice job. Touched it, but here's Miles going to retrieve it and lay it up and score. 40-38.
Really nice job, Mike Miles. He just punched the ball ahead a little bit to himself and chased it down.
Thought you might see a little full court pressure from TCU here in this second half, just to try to disrupt Prairie View. They don't have a great ball handler. Mack is their best. As Mack penetrating, pocket picked again. Another turnover. Fuller going to keep. They're going to count the bucket and call the foul. Wow. Darrell Roberts commits the foul.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I thought P.J. Fuller could have absolutely been called for offense here as he lowers his left shoulder.
And you see Darrell Roberts got up and sprinted to the, look at that.
Yeah, and he got, well, I think, he picked up a, I don't know what foul. That's his 4th foul.
But he sprinted to the other end of the floor because he thought that foul was on P.J. Fuller.
Yeah, he should have, and it probably was. I could see the argument for that. Certainly not getting continuation.
He's pleading his case with Kelly Self right now, who's having none of it. Fuller's free throw is good. Taryn Todd going to get back in for P.J. Fuller. Frogs up 43-38 now.
At any rate, Coach Dixon, the Frogs, P.J. Fuller, everybody will take it.
Yep. PJ's got 6. Mike Miles leads the way for TCU with 13. Easley's got a quiet 10 here in this game.
Yeah, he had a lot of it really early in first couple of possessions, knocked down a 3 and had a layup.
Cam Mack penetrates. Wraparound pass went in and out of the hands of Henry. Still loose on the floor, fighting for it. Farabella grabs it. Outlet comes down to Miles. He's got O'Bannon with him. He takes it strong, and it's blocked. Back the other way comes Prairie View. Jamie Dixon couldn't believe there wasn't a call there. This pass slapped out of bounds by Farabella. It stays with Prairie View. Little ragtag right now.
It was a really nice job by Farabella to get on the floor to get initial possession for TCU and got it out. Ledie's outlet pass was just a little bit behind Mike Miles. Allowed the defender to get back and make a nice stop at the rim there on Mike Miles Jr.
12:36 left in this one. 5-point TCU advantage. Gambrell to inbounds. Mack. Gambrell catch and shoot. In and out. Had a good look at it. Farabella ran at him. Miles the other way. Leaves for O'Bannon.
Gambrell's got 10 made threes coming into tonight's game in 4 games. So he's capable of knocking down shots.
Transfer from Western Kentucky. Farabella left alone. Short on that attempt. Numbers here for Prairie View. Mack steps through into Farabella for the lay-in. And a foul.
A nice job by Mack. Initiating the contact, going in. Farabella trying to get in there to take a charge. Might have been in the restricted zone.
I think he was. Yep. Just inside it there. And sliding over a bit.
Yep.
Free throw line now goes Mack as Farabella whistled for the foul. That's his first. Cam Mack spent a year at Salt Lake Community College and then off to Nebraska. And now to Prairie View, makes that free throw. 43-41, a 2-point ball game. 12:05 to play. And this one, Miles. Been quiet here in this second half. O'Bannon.
Tough spot for O'Bannon. Took one dribble baseline, picked it up, and nowhere to go with it.
There's Miles. Gets his shoulder squared, sort of. Missed it. O'Bannon trying to dunk follow, and the rebound ripped out of there now by Hughes.
You show a lot of the athleticism. O'Bannon right there coming flying in. Just couldn't quite finish it.
Mack sends it cross court. Ledee hit it last. It'll stay with Prairie View after the timeout. I'm kind of waiting on O'Bannon to have a breakout game.
I'm waiting for him too.
Yeah,
it's coming. Now. We know it's coming.
Oh, yeah. 11:31 left here. 43-41. TCU by 2 right now over Prairie View. They're not going anywhere, folks.
The Heisman Trophy ceremony presented by Nissan. Tuesday at 7 on ESPN.
Kudos to that man right there. Byron Smith, the head coach, now in his 6th year at Prairie View, has his team right in the middle of this one here. Former assistant at Texas Southern and at Texas A&M. He coached the Harlem Globetrotters for a while.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, did Byron. Played, of course, at Houston. He was an All-Southwest Conference performer back in the late 80s, early 90s. Averaged 17 points in 2 years. He could play a bit. His team can, too. They're within 2 right now, the Horned Frogs. Cam Mack penetrating. Dishes down low. Had it blocked by O'Bannon. Mack for 3. Another chance here for Prairie View.
P.J. Fuller took a elbow to the mouth, and he's kind of still looking to see if he's got blood all over himself.
Right, exactly, yeah. And I think he does. Terran Todd falls down, and yep, they're going to stop play here to get P.J. taken care of, I believe. Let's see. No, we're going to get a flop here.
Who's a... That's a warning.
Yeah, right.
Flop.
Fuller's going to have to come out of the lineup. I think they're going to check on him. As you mentioned, took that elbow. Jamie Dixon letting Amy Bonner know that he thought that PJ had taken an elbow. Here's another look at it. You tell me this. Is this intentional?
No, it was a forehead.
Yeah.
I thought he might have used his left arm to help create separation, turn the corner there. And it was, yeah, he just came across him with his forehead.
And now they're going to review this to see, because I don't think the officials know that it was the headbutt that got him.
Yeah, that's incidental contact. PJ's up there guarding close. Cam Mack making a hard drive to the basket as he swung through.
You can see the officials taking a look at that as we speak. Kelly Self.
I think it's reasonable to take a look at the monitor anytime somebody draws blood, though.
And Here's another look at it. And you wonder if one of the assistants or, someone on the staff told Coach Dixon, hey, PJ took an elbow.
I certainly thought it from our angle up here. I certainly thought it was.
You don't want to be that guy though that tells him that, and then you go look at the replay and it was a headbutt.
Right.
Because then he might Bill Belichick. Did you see that? Did you see that the other night?
No.
Against the Bills? One of his assistants told him, hey, challenge that. Mm-hmm. Well, it was obvious. It was a bad challenge.
Yeah.
So he walked back and he picked up the phone, got on the phone to him, and then slammed the phone.
I saw the phone slam highlight.
Yes, that's what that was about. If you want me to challenge it, make sure it's a legitimate challenge, right?
Yeah, with Luka being 2 weeks old, I sleep when I can, so I'm not able to catch all the games anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, that'll be, you won't catch all the games for the next 19 years. Just be ready.
I'll catch a whole bunch of them, though. He'll be rooting right alongside me, I'm sure.
43-41 right now. 2-point lead for TCU with 10:50 to play. Miles. Corner to Todd for the jumper. There you go.
Good defense. Offense, excuse me. He's just catching it, ready to shoot. Mike Miles creating good offense there.
Foot was on the line. 46-41. It's a 5-point game. Well, now you had one signal a 2-pointer and another referee signal a 3-pointer. They've given him credit for a 3 right now. And a travel here by Prairie View.
I would hope, since he was already set up and didn't have to move, it was a catch and shoot, you would hope he would be set up deep enough to be a 3.
But Amy Bonner, the referee right there, had put up 2 fingers as if it was not a 3. So here's Miles walking it up, 45-41. It's a 4-point TCU lead. Todd, extra pass now, Farabella. O'Bannon.
Tough shot.
Yep. Mack with the rebound.
I felt like after the one dribble when he pulled up, he never had control of it.
Yeah.
He lost it on his way up a little bit.
But where he shot that from, there's Mack, strong move and a foul.
Mack losing control of that ball momentarily actually gave him an advantage as he came across the lane. He was able to capitalize there.
Yeah, Todd going to be whistled with a personal here. Another look at it there. Not a lot of contact, but enough. As Kevin Samuel's going to come in for Jaden Ledee. Back to that previous shot by O'Bannon. From the angle that he was at, you know what I love? I'd love to see him use a glass there. He wasn't that far deep on the side, I didn't think, Colin. You tell me if the angle was worse than I thought.
Yeah, I think where he first caught it was, but he dribbled right, so he narrowed that angle down.
Okay.
So it's probably a better straight-on shot.
But from where he caught it.
If you get it from 45-degree angle, that's not a bad
art. Guys aren't using the glass like
nobody does. Mike Miles Jr. will use it.
He will, yeah. You still use a glass, don't you, in the driveway?
I haven't played on concrete in years.
Come on now. Come over to the house.
The knees.
Yeah. 45-43.
And I also don't step inside the three-point line anymore.
Todd's free throws off the mark. We put a new one up for Christmas. We got a brand new one.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I will come over and shoot that.
You should, man. We got a big area there. It's nice.
Well,
and it's adjustable, too, so I can get it down to about 8.5 for you, so you can still dunk.
So me and Luka versus you and Gaines.
Yes, all right. We'll take you on. Let's go. Bring it. Inside the arc. Here's a jumper off the mark, and the rebound taken out of there by Damari Paris. Paris going to keep it. Now Miles runs it down.
Kevin running hard.
Yeah, he is. Running the floor, you got to reward the big man, don't you?
Well, what he did was he drew the defense to the middle, and the kick out for the 3 would have been there.
There it is. There's Farabella for that 3. And Jamie Dixon with his patented timeout after a made bucket with 8:59 to play. And his team up by 5 and gaining momentum, 48-43. 30-second timeout taken here by Coach Dixon.
Yeah, actually, I think this is a really good timeout, too. You give Kevin Samuel, who just made a really hard sprint down the floor, give him a quick breather to get back in. A nice extra pass, Mike Miles Jr. to Francisco Farabello.
It's good to have him back in the lineup, too. You know, he's so much more of an offensive threat this year than last year. He just didn't look to score last year.
That's true. That's absolutely. And he deferred a lot, I think, to Desmond Bain, who obviously, for obvious reasons. But this year, he's looked to score a little bit more. And I'd like to see his development keep going.
Yeah, stronger. You can see that. Spent some time in the weight room in the offseason.
But he's a coach's dream. He's going to play hard, and he's not going to turn the ball over.
Right.
He won't force a lot of shots. Take open shots and knock down as many as he can.
Out of Caneta de Gomez, Argentina. Out front with it is Jock Hughes. Cam Mack in traffic, thought about it. Spread the floor a bit here now.
Yeah, Prairie View's offense has kind of delved down into just Mack driving at this point.
But a nice dish there for the easy lay-in for Henry.
And you can see why, though, if TCU's defense is going to collapse and Henry's going to be able to dive down. That's an easy basket. Backside help's got to rotate over.
Byron Smith's team's shown a few sets here, though. They've done a couple of different things on their offense.
Yep, and they're hanging around.
48-45, three-point ball game. And by the way, this is a program that's used to winning basketball games over the last 2 years. Fuller had it slapped away. Loose on the floor, tied up. Jock Hughes and he are fighting for it, and there's going to be possession arrow to Prairie View here. As Fuller commits that turnover.
And he's got Darrell Roberts out here playing with 4 fouls as well.
Yep.
Leading scorer for Prairie View.
Hughes checks out as Gamble gets back in. Frogs have turned it over 11 times in this game. Prairie View 14. We work under 8 minutes to play in this one. And the lead at just 3 for TCU. Frogs were down 1 at halftime. Gambrell out front now, Cam Mack. He's going to fire a 3 here and score it. Ties it at 48 with 7:40 to go.
You know, TCU with 11 underclassmen, one of the most underclassmen programs in the country. You like to get them experience in close games. You just got to make sure you seal the deal here.
Easily going baseline, wraps it around. Samuel finishes.
It's a good thing that Kevin Samuel is ready for that low pass.
Yeah.
That could easily turn into a turnover. Nice hands from the big fella catching that low.
Mack going baseline, steps through, forces that one, missed it. A lot of contact. Miles with the rebound. Miles racing it up. Frogs by 2. Baseline, Fuller strong. Reverse layup goes.
Nice job taking that basketball or the ball all the way to the basket there. P.J. Fuller. Frogs extend the lead here to 4 after it tied up from the Cam Mack 3.
Prairie View slowing it up a bit too, Colin. They're working more in the half court here.
They are, because Cam Mack's getting them good looks.
Yeah.
He's knocked down a couple of shots. He's created other opportunities for his teammates.
Skips it here.
Didn't have enough on that pass.
Roberts, air ball. Samuel with the board. Mike Miles came down awkwardly and is holding his right knee. That is not good.
Let's hope that that is a cramp.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I did not see who he landed on, if anybody. Hopefully it's nothing too big.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with him. 6:32 left. 52-48 TCU.
When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Mike Miles looks like he's going to stay on the floor. He's in the lineup right now coming out of this huddle. We got another look at that, and it looks like, Colin, it was just a cramp, a momentary cramp. Here he is defending.
Yeah, initially I thought Kevin Samuel may have stepped on his foot or he might have rolled his ankle a little bit on that, but he just put all of his weight on the right foot, and he jumped with basically all his weight on that right foot, and I bet he just cramped up really quickly.
Yeah, you can see him favoring it as he comes down there, but Miles stays out there. That's a good sign for TCU, because you're going to see some full court pressure now from Prairie View with 6:30 to play. TCU leading it here by 4, 52-48. Farabella.
The tough part is you just hope he doesn't cramp up again.
Right.
In an inopportune time.
Cam Mack slapped it away, easily retrieves it in the backcourt. 10 on the shot clock.
Yeah, he might have got away with a push there on Cam Mack going for that loose ball.
5 on the shot clock. Farabella in the lane, sliding through. Nice dish down low. Easily finished the foul.
Wow, nice dish from Farabella, getting into the paint, pump fake. Had everybody off their feet and was still able to find Easley, who can finish at the rim, was able to put it in and one. That's 12 for Easley, his first double-figure point night for TCU.
Free throw line now.
It's a big basket, get a little breathing room for TCU, up 6 now. You'll probably see a little bit more pressure from Prairie View A&M down the stretch here, try to get a couple more possessions.
Missed by Easley. 54-48.
Frogs still only 9 of 17 from the line tonight.
Still here, P.J. Fuller. Fuller on the run out. Lost it. Retrieves it. Now the Frogs are going to reset in the half court. Easily, nice flip. And a foul here. A lot of contact going on down there. And I think they're going to call a foul here on TCU.
Yeah, I think I got Kevin Samuel coming in over the back.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that was kind of a helter-skelter play, but I liked Kevin Easley putting that ball on the floor and getting to the basket. He just didn't finish the layup.
.5:42 to go. 6-point ball game.
Yeah, Mike Miles Jr. still laboring there on the right leg a little bit.
Henry. Now Roberts in traffic. And Kevin Samuel with a rebound.
Mike Miles Jr. has played heavy minutes tonight. He's only sat down for about 90 seconds.
Right. 6-point ball game. Easily, Kevin Samuel. Kevin Easley again, contact, and will go to the line.
Nice job again by Farabello, finding Easley cutting to the basket. Poor Kevin Samuel's having a tough time when he catches the ball inside. He just gets swarmed by the defenders. It's a smart play by Easley. As soon as he sees Farabello, instead of waiting on the three-point line for him, Farabello does a nice job finding cutters to the basket. So he goes straight to the hoop.
Free throw good for Easley. I just like that. I like Easley's game better when he's doing that, when he's taking it to the rim.
Absolutely agree. He'll be most beneficial for his teammates doing that as well.
Cam Mack fires a three here, missed it. Rebound, there's Kevin Samuel again for another board. Farabello on the run out now. Samuel in double digits in rebounds. Fran bounces it left here. Miles. Easley down low now. Samuel for the finish.
Nice job. Still getting triple teamed, but is able to step through to the other side for an easy lay-in.
Double-double for Kevin Samuel.
And he's got most of that here in the second half as well. Frogs needed somebody to step up and bear the brunt of the scoring. He's really helped out.
Rebound, Henry saves the possession. Penetration here, and missing the running one-hander is Juwan Daniels.
You like Mike Miles Jr. stepping in there trying to take a charge. He just had his heels in the restricted area.
Yep. He's a better defender than people think.
Oh, absolutely.
And some of that's just the basketball IQ that we talk about, and the anticipation that he has on the floor.
Oh, and being able to lay out and leave it out there for your team.
Yep.
Taking charges, you know, there's a lot of guys that make business decisions when charges are available to be taken. They say, I'm just going to get out of the way and live to fight another day. Other guys step in and take that knee to the chest, and it doesn't always feel good, but it sure feels good when you get a charge.
10-point lead right now, largest of the game for TCU, 58-48 with 4:05 left in this one. Juwan Daniels knocked it in.
So first points for Prairie View A&M in 3 minutes and 44 seconds. TCU really had stepped it up on the defensive end there.
Yes, they did.
Picked a good time to do it.
Miles now Easley. Back out it comes now to P.J. Fuller. Samuel finishes with a big dunk.
Yeah, that's just being 6'10 with long arms. 6'11, excuse me.
Penetration here, and that was a hard contact.
Cam Mack arguing that he was going to shoot the ball there, and they got it on the floor.
3:26 left, 11-point game. Frogs still lead it here on Prairie View.
Real stories, real results. Get started for free at SmileDirectClub.com.
60-40 Ryan right now. TCU leading it here by 11 over Prairie View with 3:26 left in this ball game. Frogs starting to pull away after being down by 1 at halftime. Byron Smith's team, I'll tell you what, gave TCU everything they wanted in that first half. This was not over yet, though.
No, not at all, especially because you're going to get pressure from Prairie View A&M, and TCU has not handled it particularly well tonight. So there might be a couple extra possessions, and they've knocked down a few threes, Prairie View A&M has, so they can get back in this game very quickly.
Hughes inbounds. Here's Daniels at the wing left. Out of the top, it goes Mack. Mack penetrates, skips it off. Right-hand corner, here's Jock Hughes for the jumper. It's a three-pointer that goes. Farabella ended up in the Prairie View bench.
Yeah, Hughes had a couple of set threes like that.
Miles, now Fuller. Prairie View's going to continue this full-court pressure.
And he's double-teamed, and Mike Miles Jr. is covered, and Farabella's running the wrong way down the court here. Nobody back there to help him. I don't know if I was P.J. Fuller right there, I would have picked up the ball, turned to the official, and called timeout.
Timeout right there.
There's nothing you could do.
Now, let's see. Kelly Self stopped play here with 2:55 to go in this game.
I don't know if there was an inadvertent whistle. They thought maybe it was. See, P.J. Fuller right here. Double team's going to come. You know it's going to come. You dribble it to it, pick it up, call, and he dribbled it off his own hand. He might have been doing that. But Farabella's on the other side of half court going the wrong way. Yeah. And Mike Miles is covered.
Mack sends it down low for the lay-in that goes here for Juwan Daniels.
Just like that, 6-point game. 2 possessions.
60-54.
There you go, PJ. Now attack.
Yep.
See, I don't like this. If you get an advantage 3-on-2 and you go get a layup,
do it.
Absolutely. Go take the bucket.
Easily baseline. Threw that one away. Another turnover here for TCU. Cam Mack into Farabella.
Nice
Bumped. A lot of contact. No whistle. The bucket will count. The timeout taken here. It's a 30-second timeout taken by Byron Smith.
7 points. 3 quick possessions.
Now the Frogs got to talk it over.
2 turnovers from TCU.
Here's another look at it.
Farabella, nice job bodying him up. Stayed vertical. That's a terrific no call from the official.
But a great move by Cam Mack, too, to draw contact, create the contact, flip it up, get the bucket, and 50% of the time you're going to get that call.
Absolutely.
You're going to get it. All right, now down to 2:19 to go. Folks starting to get into it. 60-56 here. TCU leading it by 4. On Prairie View. Check these out. See those 4 guys? They're watching the replay right there, Colin. They're listening to you.
Okay.
Analyze it. See the one on the left there? That guy right there, he's 12 years old. He's 5'10".
That's big.
He's going to be a player. His daddy was a great athlete here at TCU, Josh. His grandfather was a terrific parking lot basketball player. That's what he claims. He was the best parking lot basketball player in Kansas.
I think that's about the exact size I was at that age.
There you go.
Not saying he'll be 6'8", but if he is, that's great. Let's get him signed up.
Hudson Hardbuck's his name. Hudson Hardbuck is his name. Keep your eye on it. As P.J. Fuller is fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line now with 2:16 to go. And TCU leading at 60-56 here.
All right, so this is a 1-and-1 for P.J. Tucker, or excuse me, P.J. Fuller. One more before the double bonus.
Right.
Frogs going to have to knock down their free throws down the stretch here.
61-56. Frogs up by 5 with 2:16 left. Jamie Dixon ready to sub in Taryn Todd after this free throw from P.J. Fuller. Missed it, though, and the rebound taken out of here now by Juwan Daniels. Still a 2-possession ball game with 2:10 to play in this one. Out front with it is Mack. Mack crossover, free throw line, kicks it out left-hand side for the three-pointer that's off the mark, but another offensive rebound here for Prairie View. The putback is no good. Tip follows off the mark, and there's a rebound grab by Fran Farapella.
Frogs dodge a bullet right there. Roberts with a nice offensive rebound, just couldn't get the putback to go.
Miles with it.
Frogs content to work a little clock here. I still think it's at a point in the game where you don't necessarily need to do this unless you can go get a good shot.
Minute 30 to play. A lot of contact on both ends of this half court. You had a screen that was set by Samuel that laid out Roberts, and then you had contact on Mike Miles' attempt, and there were no whistles on either.
And that was a good screen by Kevin Samuel. I'm really glad that they didn't call that. A lot of times you see that guys get hit so hard, it's just an automatic reaction to call that block.
Miles to inbound.
Just 5 on the shot clock here.
Yep. You got to be careful. 3, 2. Miles step back and a travel first. Bucket didn't go in, but I didn't see the travel.
So this is the step back shot that all these kids do today. That is not a travel.
Here's another look. 1, 2, 3. Are we sure, Colin?
Not the way today's game's called.
That's true. I mean, it's one of those, technically, it might be a travel.
Yeah.
Here's Mack penetrating on Samuel. Kevin got it. And then PJ was knocked down as he went for that loose ball. And the foul here is going to be whistled on Henry. Nope, they're not going to call it on Henry. They're going to call this one on Cam Mack. And that's going to be his 4th.
I don't know if you saw the highlight from Giannis Antetokounmpo the other night where he got a steal or something. He took one dribble from half court.
Right.
Got all the way to the rim for a dunk. And he took 4 steps.
Yeah.
Not 3, which would have been a travel.
Right, but 4.
So.
Yeah, they should just eliminate the travel from the NBA. Nobody's scared. They just don't call it. Terrell. Roberts was whistled for that personal foul. No, it was Mack. They did change it to Mack.
Front into the 1-1 right there. Yeah, that's the last opportunity to do that. It's 2 shots the rest of the way.
61-56. And a timeout taken here by Byron Smith. TCU as a team shooting just 55% for the free throw line.
That's an interesting timeout right there because that takes away, is that their last timeout?
Yep, that was his final timeout.
That's
with a minute 9 to go.
TCU was just, PJ Fuller just shooting free throws.
Yeah.
You would want to be able to communicate to your team the play you want.
At that point, during that free throw sequence.
And then keep that timeout in your back pocket in case you need it.
Mm-hmm.
So advantage TCU there. Prairie View will not be able to take another timeout here.
He knows the importance of this one, though. This possession, he needs to get a bucket here.
He does, but also being able to set up his press, which has been very effective, could be very useful.
61-56 right now. TCU looking for their 8th win of the season. Prairie View's played just 4 games. We talked earlier about the cancellations on their schedule. They got a win over Evansville.
Regardless of how this game ends up, you got to be happy with your performance with Prairie View A&M. Yes. Coming in here on short notice, this game wasn't on your schedule to begin with. And really hanging with the Frogs all night long.
And, yeah, you're right. And how about the confidence they'll have now going into SWAC play starting on the 2nd against Southern?
Absolutely. They're only going to get better, especially with Cam Mack initiating the offense. He didn't score as much as he would have liked, I'm sure, tonight, but he still had a really nice night. He's had 16 points.
Leads the way for him. 14 out of Darrell Roberts. The only 2 Panthers in double digits. Frogs have 3 players in double digits. Out front is Roberts. Roberts, 3-pointer, in and out.
Nice job by Mike Miles running that ball down.
And then Miles fouled here. They're going to get Roberts with it. I'm not sure that's what Byron Smith drew up, though.
But it's one of those shots. It's his 5th foul. And it's him walking into a shot, though.
Yeah.
He rocked right into it. Those are shots you guys practice all day long.
Roberts leaves.
He didn't want to commit that foul right there because he wants to be out on the floor and try to finish this game out.
14 points and 5 boards.
Especially going in for a silly reach in there.
Yeah.
But they needed to call the foul so TCU doesn't run some time.
Miles' free throw is good. He's got 14. He and Easley both with 14 for TCU. Kevin Samuel's got 12. Samuel with a double-double, 12 points and 14 rebounds.
And he did most of that damage here in the second half.
Taryn Todd's going to check out as Easley returns. 58.3 left. 7-point ball game. Still plenty of time. Here's Mack for three. That one's off the mark. That air ball is going to come back down to TCU.
TCU still got to be careful here. Prairie View A&M scored 7 points in 3 possessions just a few minutes ago.
Inbounds comes. Fuller. Miles. And a timeout taken here by Jamie Dixon.
Coach Dixon wants to have that one back. He clapped his hands to himself saying, oh, he didn't realize that they were about to break.
Right. He thought he had some trouble there with Miles.
He had a little trouble there.
Yep. We still got one timeout left if need be. 49.3 to go. Frogs leading it here, 63-56.
Yeah, Kevin Samuel at halftime only had 2 points and 6 rebounds, so quite a second half for him.
Look at foul trouble right now. So he already fouled out is Roberts for this game. We got Mack and Briscoe with 4, Henry and Daniels with 3 for Prairie View. And they've got to foul TCU down the stretch here, though. They got a chance.
TCU actually has done a pretty good job of staying out of foul trouble all night long. They've only got 11 team fouls for the entire game, while Prairie View's got 22. A lot of that is a product of being aggressive, though. Prairie View's been very aggressive defensively.
Inbounds comes. Easley gives it right back to Farabella. Now Fuller. Prairie View and Chase. Miles has it. And there's the foul. I think Byron Smith wanted that foul a lot sooner.
Yeah, you want to try to go for a steal, a couple of swipes, and then you just got to put somebody on the line.
Gambrell, the guilty party. Jeremiah Gambrell. And now Miles to the free throw line.
TCU now 15 of 25 from the line, or 60%.
Mike Miles with 16 to lead TCU. There's Taryn Todd back in for Kevin Easley.
So Coach Dixon putting Kevin Samuel back in for defensive purposes here. But, of course, if they do get a defensive rebound or even if Prairie View scores, Kevin will be on the floor and be somebody they can go after and try to foul. Put on the free throw line.
Here's Hughes quickly after the miss. The jumper goes. 64-58, 6-point ball game. 35.8 to go. Fuller's got in the backcourt.
Go back to him.
Back it comes now to Todd. Now Farabella. That's who you should foul. Farabella has struggled for the free throw line, but instead it's going to be Miles. But Farabella, the year is just 1 of 5. Now Miles will head back. 26 seconds. We always like to foul a guy who's cold, too.
Hey, well,
Miles was just there.
Yep, and Farabella hasn't had many opportunities this year. He's only had 1 tonight and only 5 on the season.
65-58.
Amazing. The guys who are really good free throw shooters usually get there a bunch.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
Frogs opened up a 3-possession game here. 26 seconds to go.
Miles, a terrific freshman. Made them both. Easily for Kevin Samuel.
Yeah, Miles only 4 out of 18 from the floor tonight, but 8 out of 9 from the free throw line.
8 rebounds and 6 assists, too, though.
Yeah, terrific.
Penetration by Mack. Dishes down low. They're going to call a block here. They're going to count the bucket. Let's see. Fuller going to be whistled for the personal. Let's see if they count the bucket. They count the bucket here.
You can call that a foul on P.J. Fuller moving into that.
Yeah.
But there's no way that they can call that continuation in college. In NBA, sure.
Yeah, they're going to count this bucket.
I'm shocked that they called that a good made bucket.
66-60. Still a 2-possession game. 18.7 to go. Tyler Kempf, that referee, who made that call. Free throw is good here for Juwan Daniels. They're not going away, folks. Inbounds comes Farabella. That's who you got to foul if you're Prairie View. Instead, they get it up to Taryn Todd, who's fouled. 14.5 to go.
Frogs still got to step up and knock down free throws here.
Linnell Henry whistled for the personal. That's his 4th. 2 free throws here for Taryn Todd. Lead at 5, 66-61. It's going to still be a 2-possession game if he makes this one.
Yep. TCU has 1 timeout left. If something happens, Prairie View goes down and scores, and they can't get the ball in bounds.
Taryn Todd, second free throw. Missed them both. Rebound Prairie View. Cam Mack going to push it here. Down to 9 seconds, down to 8. Right-hand side they come, free throw line. Flip, steps through, layup doesn't go, tapped out, and the rebound out of Mike Miles. And he should be able to run this one out. Prairie View had their chances at the end. Frogs, though, hang on. It's a 5-point victory for TCU as Jamie Dixon's team comes away with the win here, 66-61. But credit to Byron Smith and Prairie View for the effort that they put forth in this game, Colin.
Absolutely. You can see the guys from Prairie View walking off with their heads held very high, and they should. Some of the TCU guys look a little fatigued and almost relieved that they got out of here with a win. You know, they'll take a win any way that they can get it. Now they go back into league play starting this week.
Yep, Frogs without the services of R.J. Nimhard here tonight, but Mike Miles stepped up for TCU. 18 points for the freshman here. He also grabbed 9 rebounds, had 6 assists as well to lead the way for the Frogs, who put 2 others in double digits. Easley with 14 in this ball game. Kevin Easley had 14. Kevin Samuel with 12. He had a double-digit, or a double-double, I should say, 12 points and 14 rebounds. As the Frogs, down by 1 at halftime, come storming back in the second to win this one here, 66-61. Horned Frogs win it here over Prairie View. For Colin Boddicker, I'm Brian Estrich. Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us. Frogs win 66-61 over Prairie View tonight.